Hello friends, welcome our YouTube channel. Today we talk about Linux booting process. Friends, before starting the video, please do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon so that as soon as our new video come, you will get notification. Let's start. Booting is the process of loading and initialization an operating system. In Linux system, the booting is done in 6 stages. When system power on, first stage is BIOS started. In simple terms, the BIOS load the MBR into memory and execute the MBR. Then system command second stage MBR. In simple terms, the MBR load and execute the grub bootloaders. Thereafter system command third stage is called grub. In simple terms, grub just load and execute kernel and init RD image. Then fourth stage is kernel. Kernel initialize itself and load the kernel modules and mount the boot file system as specified in the grub.config file. After that system started the fifth stage, system D process. In simple terms, system D is a system and service manager for Linux operating system. Final stage is run level. In this stage, depending on default init level setting, the system will execute the program. In next slides, we learn all booting process in detail. First is BIOS, stand for basic input and output system. Whenever we power on the system runs self-diagnosis and check and detect all the components, input and output devices. This process is called post. If any error found, it display on the screen. The BIOS located the booting disk in the system and load the primary bootloader MBR. MBR stands for Master Boot Record. It is located in the first sector of bootable disk. The size of the MBR is 512 bytes and it contains 3 components. First component has primary bootloader information and its size is 446 byte. Second component has partition table information and its size is 64 bytes. Third partition for MBR validation check and its size is 2 bytes. Its main purpose is whether the MBR is valid or not. The primary bootloader contains the secondary bootloader, nothing but grub. Then primary bootloader locates and loads the secondary bootloader into memory. So in simple terms, the MBR loads and executes the grub bootloader. Grub stands for Unified Bootloader. If you have multiple kernel image installed in our system, we can choose which one to be executed. Grub display a splash screen, wait for few seconds. If we do not enter anything, it loads the default kernel image as specified in the grub configuration file. After kernel is loaded, the kernel will take the control of the booting process. Then it will initialize all the hardware included IO process. Kernel will mount the root partition as read only. Then system D is loaded as the first process. System D will mount the root partitions and other partition as a read write and check for all system error. Based on the run level, it will load the service and run the startup script which are located in /etc/rc.d file. Finally, it's run the rc.local script and now the login prompt will be appear. Thanks for watching. Do subscribe our channels and press the bell icon.